Well, hello again. Today is April 2nd. We are continuing in the New Testament, reading in the book of Luke, chapter 6, verses 27 through 49. And here we read, "But I say to you who hear, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you." I got to say that again. Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. This is really hard, and I understand that, but this is Christ telling us how we should live. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who mistreat you. Whoever hits you on the cheek, offer him the others also. And whoever takes away your coat, do not withhold your shirt from him either. Give to everyone who asks of you, and whoever takes away what is yours, do not demand it back. Treat others the same way you would want them to treat you. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners love those who love them. If you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners do the same. If you lend to those from whom you expect to receive, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners in order to receive back the same amount. But love your enemies and do good and lend, expecting nothing in return, and your reward will be great, and you will be the sons of the Most High, for he himself is kind to ungrateful and evil men. So, a lot of people may ask, why do these people seem blessed when they are evil? There it is right there. It says, he himself, as in God the Father, is kind to ungrateful and evil men. All right, continuing verse 36, be merciful just as your Father is merciful. Do not judge, and you will not be judged. And do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Pardon, and you will be pardoned. Give, and it will be given to you. They will pour into your lap a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. For by your standard of measure, it will be measured to you in return. So basically, you should have a very merciful, loving heart to those. That way, God gives that same loving and merciful heart to you. And when it says, don't judge, I know a lot of people use that. Don't judge that you may not be judged. Yeah, you are not the judge to sentence someone to hell, but you can use your judgment to know right and wrong. That's a given. So always use your judgment to call evil evil and good good, and let that be your flag, the flag that you stand on when you live your life. And let's not convince ourselves or be convinced that we can't judge anybody on anything they do. That's not the case. God has given us the wisdom and the knowledge here in the Word to know what is right and what is wrong. Continuing on to verse 39, and he also spoke a parable to them. A blind man cannot guide a blind man, can he? Will they not both fall into a pit? A pupil is not above his teacher, but everyone after he has been fully trained will be like his teacher. Why do you look at the speck that is in your brother's eye, but do not notice the log that is in your own? Or how can you say to your brother, let me take out the speck that is in your eye, when you yourself do not see the log that is in your own eye? You hypocrite. First take the log out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take out the speck that is in your brother's eye. Now, obviously that applies to all of us all the time, but Jesus is honing in on these hypocritical people and how they are trying to preach and teach to the people, these Pharisees and Sadducees, yet they are so corrupt themselves and do not look at within themselves to clean themselves up, in a sense. Continuing on to verse 43, For there is no good tree which produces bad fruit, nor on the other hand a bad tree which produces good fruit. For each tree is known by its own fruit. For men do not gather figs from thorns, nor do they pick grapes from a briar bush. The good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth what is good, and the evil man out of the evil treasure brings forth what is evil, for his mouth speaks from that which fills his heart. And there's another reference to the mouth representing what's inside, what's in the heart and soul and mind of a man. So keep that in mind. Again, we need to trim our words, get our words correct, and not speak evil of things or of others, of God, whatever, Continuing on to verse 46, why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not do what I say? So, we shouldn't be sitting around claiming that Jesus is Lord when we don't do anything that he says, because to call him Lord means that you should be honoring him and respecting him and fulfilling his desires, his will for your life. So if you call him Lord, but choose to live your own way, you choose to continue to desire to do what you want to do, then Jesus Christ, perhaps you would say, is really not your Lord. Verse 47, everyone who comes to me and hears my words and acts on them, I will show you whom he is like. And he is like a man building a house who dug deep and laid a foundation on the rock. And when a flood occurred, the torrent burst against the house and could not shake it, because it had been well built. And to build well is to know his word and understand him. But the one who has heard and has not acted accordingly is like a man who built a house on the ground without any foundation, and the torrent burst against it, and immediately it collapsed. And the ruin of that house was great. So basically, if you hear the word of Christ and you do not seek it further, follow the instruction, you will basically be sort of moved about, tossed to and fro, and at some point, you'll end up destroyed. But your house will just not stand, because you did not take in his word and act on it. And again, you must act on his word. You can't just take it in and say, oh, well, I'm going to try to do better. You have truly been given the strength to act on his word. You may not be perfect, of course, but you can definitely act on his word and do his will in all things. And that's from the greatest evil that we may think of, maybe murder, to what we don't necessarily consider to be evil in our society, which is fornication. It's all evil in God's eyes, and we must act on fixing those things. Again, today is April 2nd. Thank you. God bless, and I hope to see you soon.